our objective is of this little thing here. It's WebQuest. It's not a WebQuest, but it's to classify matter based upon composition. Now to classify means to like sort it, put it into categories, and the categories are, we're going to go through them. I'm going to define them and then go through some examples. Composition is a fancy word for makeup of a chemical. Now, matter, anything with mass and volume. I'm sure it's all around us. The sink, the box, this computer that you're looking at. Look, I'm going to shake the computer. Wow, that's so cool. Now, non-matter is something that's lacking mass or volume, something like light or energy, a black hole. That says lacking, not backing. Now, mass and volume, here's the definitions. Mass, it's not how much you weigh. When you say, like, I weigh 140 pounds, it's a measure. It truly is a measurement of how many atoms are there. When you say, I've got, I mean, I know you don't say you've got 200 atoms in me. It'd be far too big of a number, but it's, the unit we use is grams. And volume is a measurement of the amount of space something occupies. And I'll just give you some visuals of these things. You can see this dude is totally unhappy. He's carrying this lead sack filled with lots and lots and lots of atoms, and his back is almost breaking. This dude on the bottom is wicked happy. I should have just done them both at once, because there's not a lot of atoms in there. All right. Now here's some of the categories that you classify matter in. One thing can be an element. Element, something made of one type of atom. There's gold. I meant to put down the gold that makes up my ring. There's hydrogen. The gas in there is made of hydrogen. These are elements, all right? There's also two other elements, aluminum and copper, and that means they're all made up the same way. You also have compounds. Compounds are two or more elements that are linked, or two or more elements that can't be separated by physical means, like melting, boiling, freezing. Now here are some various substances. These are all compounds. You got sugar, you got baking soda, you got salt. Now if you'll notice, something about compounds and elements, they have what is known as a formula. The formula of an element is simple. It's just what it is. Like gold is Au. This thing, the copper, would be Cu. The aluminum would be Al. However, with compounds, they've got something like this. NaCl, that's sodium chloride, salt. Sugar and baking soda have those formulas. The number on the bottom tells you that it's 6 oxygen, 12 hydrogen, and 6 carbon. That's its formula. Now, elements and compounds are substances. They have something with a uniform composition. That means they all have the same formula. All that stuff is made up of sugar. They look like that. Or not look like that, that's its formula. It looks like a ring, actually, in truth. Now, there are other substances, you don't really find them in nature, because nature doesn't really have pure things in it. It's got a mixtures of substances. Another fun fact about substances is a synonym of it is chemical. Now, there are mixtures, tons of mixtures. There are two types. Ones where you can tell the parts apart, and ones that you can't tell the parts apart. Here we have a homogeneous mixture. Two or more substances together which you cannot, keyword is cannot, distinguish them. For example, salt dissolved in water. When I look at that, I can't tell the salt from the water. I could look at it all day and I'm not going to be able to see them apart. On the contrary, a heterogeneous is when I can tell them apart. Sand and water. I don't have sand and water, but I've got this jar of junk. You can see you got some junk on the bottom. It's totally distinct from this. I got this liquid there. It's like a liquid that's got something dissolved in it, and I've got these metal gunks. That's totally distinct from that. Now here, got a chemistry book. That would be a heterogeneous mixture. Because, you look, you got all these dyes, you got, I mean, there's a person there, there's some water here, I'm just trying to be funny. But no, you got all the different dyes for the various ink colors, which is great, and that makes it heterogeneous. Now, here we have a couple more examples. What would magnesium be? What would vinegar be? That's a tricky one. What would the wood be? Does wood matter? Does it have a mass and a volume? Have you ever pondered that question? Thought about it? Well, you should. And here is, how about this dude? What is he? Please ask me on Monday or Tuesday. Bye.